Tonight on Full Sail Live. It was the matchup everyone expected, culminating with the matchup everyone wanted. The championship game may have been the most dramatic in World Baseball Classic history yet. Spring football camps are starting at colleges all over the country. Tonight we take a look at Texas A&M and the dreadful season that was versus the hopeful future that is. Also, scale track, StatCast, VAR. These are all terms that are based in the technology called Hawkeye. How has it changed and will continue to change the games we love? All this tonight on Full Sail Live.
You know, everybody wanted to see it. He won round one. No, you can't take anything away from it. Just to be able to come out of the bullpen, as a starter, and it's showtime. So it's hats off to them guys over there. It was a tough night for us, but we'll be back.
That was Mike Trout, obviously heartbroken, but obviously proud of his Los Angeles Angels teammate Shohei Ohtani. This was absolutely a all-time World Baseball Classic. And me, I'm Adam Fernandez, and I'm also proud to be part of Full Sail Live here for you tonight to discuss all the happenings in the world of sports. Starting in the beautiful city of Miami, where the World Baseball Classic game would be held between Team USA, who demolished Cuba on Sunday night, and Japan, who squeaked by Mexico to get here. We jump ahead to the second inning, where tournament hero Trey Turner would come up to blast his fifth home run of the tournament, to left to give Team USA the 1-0 lead. That wouldn't last, however, as in the bottom of the second, Manataka Murakami, the two-time MVP in Japan, would come and blast a solo shot of his own to the second deck in right field. Later in the second, Lars Nootbaar of the St. Louis Cardinals would roll this little dribbler to his Cardinals teammate to give Japan the 2-1 lead. Fast forward to the bottom of the fourth when Kazuma Okamoto takes Kyle Freeland deep to left center to extend the Japan lead to 3-1. To the fifth, and once again, USA threatening with 2 on and 2 out, and the defending National League home run champion Kyle Schwarber on. And he gets just under this one to pop it up to center. This wouldn't be the last, though, you would see of Schwarber. To the sixth, and Team USA wasn't alone in its inability to cash in on opportunities. Bases loaded with 2 outs for Lars Nootbaar, and, much like Schwarber, pops out to right, and Mookie Betts will be there to make the snag. To the eighth, and we have Padres ace and one of the best pitchers in the world, Yu Darvish, towing the slab now. And with 1 out, I warned you about Kyle Schwarber. A tape measure blast to get Team USA and the crowd back into this. And this real American is loving every minute of it. Now to the ninth, and what everybody wanted to see, Ohtani, no matter what happened, would face his Angels teammate Mike Trout third in this inning. After Mookie Betts grounded into a double play, we would get just that, with the championship on the line. They would get it to a 3-2 count, and then this.
Baseball wins tonight. A matchup we've all been wanting to see. 3-2 from Ohtani. He throws. Trout strikes out swinging. Ohtani and Japan celebrate a World Baseball Classic championship. We came to see.
Yes, I mean, I played with him for several years now, and I've seen him the most. I hit next to him in the lineup, and I'm the one that probably knows how great he is, not just as a person, but as a baseball player. So I had to give my best and my 120% to be able to get him out.
That last pitch sequence was absolutely legendary. In it, Ohtani showed his mastery of the game, an 88-mile-an-hour slider to start, then 4 straight fastballs at over 100 miles an hour, ending with the most nasty slider I've ever seen at 87 miles an hour. One of the biggest, if not the biggest, bright spots for Team USA this year was Trey Turner, who had a historic run in this year's World Baseball Classic. This was truly a historic run by Trey Turner this World Baseball Classic, finishing in the top 10 in 4 offensive categories, including number 1 in home runs with 5. Up next on Full Sail Live, we go to College Station, Texas to take a look at spring ball for Texas A&M.
I mean, the offense we run is still the same. There's similar all schemes across the board. We just got to call it better, coach it better, and do it better. And if we bring somebody in, if that whatever happens, it didn't matter. Still, verticals are verticals, smashes are smashes, and we got to get it coached better and do a better job of it. So we'll evaluate everything.
Jimbo Fisher was brought in to win for Texas A&M, but after last year going only 5-7, there were a lot of people wanting for him to be replaced. And to discuss this and more Texas A&M football, we bring on our Texas A&M Aggie expert, Chris Fernandez. Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. So last year, I think it was after the first game against Sam Houston State, you and I had a discussion on my podcast in which I had asked the question about if Texas A&M goes 8-4, would that be a disappointment? To which you said, yes, I would definitely be a disappointment. However, 8-4 would have been a lot better than what happened. So can you tell me what happened?
Yeah, I would say, in short, last year was a big disappointment. I think it starts with bad offensive line play, right, with new quarterbacks that didn't know how to quite run that offense and were really starting for the first time. The rotation in quarterback between Haynes King and then Max Johnson and then finally Connor Wigman, it's hard to be good when you've rotated that many quarterbacks through. And I think it all points also back to the scheme, right? There was a lot of criticism even going into last year, but especially once we got into last year about the complexity of Jimbo's system, whether it was really appropriate for college football, particularly with more and more young players playing. So most of it was on the offense. I would say on defense, you had too many injuries and a lot of young players having to play, very talented players, but an 18-year-old, very talented player against a 21, 22-year-old, right, 3-star, 4-star is oftentimes going to get outmatched.
Yeah, it sounds about right. So to fix the offense this year, which again, anybody that watched any of the first 11 of Texas A&M's games, I think, last year could tell you that offense was the big problem. They bring in Bobby Petrino as a offensive coordinator this year, and he does have a history of off-the-field issues that we're not going to touch about right now, but he is also known as an offensive genius. What does he bring to Texas A&M that will be an improvement over what they did last year?
Well, I hope he brings a simpler offense, right? Something where people aren't having to make reads and decisions right in the middle of a play where quarterbacks and wide receivers have to be on the same page. It's supposed to be faster, right? A&M fans remember Bobby Petrino from when he was the Arkansas head coach, and he had some really good offenses in the SEC at that point in time, right? And you hope that it brings that same kind of that pace of play, that simplicity, high scoring with Wigman, who you saw, really begin to blossom those last 3 games of the year, right? Specifically against Ole Miss and then against LSU, right in that finale. Mm-hmm. You see a lot of potential there, right? And there's a lot of hope, but unlike maybe the last few years where there was maybe more confidence going in, it really is hinged on hope at the moment.
Okay, so we're still several months now from kickoff. We're going into spring football now. So again, months away. But what are we expecting out of Texas A&M this year? Is there any way that they're going to be able to challenge for the SEC at this point?
I think that goes back to the hope part. You look at the talent and you would say to yourself, yes, that's possible, right? Even in a bad year last year, they brought Alabama to the big brink, right? And in Tuscaloosa, they beat Arkansas. They played very close to a good Ole Miss team, and they beat LSU at home. So from a talent perspective, you look at it and say, yes, they've got the talent to, at least be on top of the division in the SEC West. But can they put it all together, right? Talent has never really been the biggest issue there. It's been putting it all together to actually win throughout the season. So the potential is there. The talent is there. You've got a lot of freshmen that started last year that should be experienced sophomores now, right? Sprinkle in some new talented freshmen, some good transfers that they've gotten, some upperclassmen that decided to stick around, like McKinley Jackson, Adrian Cooper, Damani Richardson on defense, right? Those are some big key areas, right? That there are opportunities to, with that talent, they could beat anybody. It's just a matter of can they put it all together and actually do it.
Sounds good to me. I'm hoping that they do. I would love nothing more than to see Texas A&M in an SEC championship game here very soon. Chris, I want to thank you for joining us, and I hope to have you back anytime soon.
Yeah, it's great being here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. See it all the time now in sports while watching it on TV. We've seen it referred to as StatCast and TrackMan. In soccer it's called VAR, but it's really all Hawkeye technology. In the UK, Paul Hawkins originally designed it for cricket in 2000, but in 2002 it was implemented for the tennis circuit, and it hasn't looked back since. It's technology that uses both radar and camera tracking equipment to track all things sports. When it started in tennis, it was 10 cameras strategically placed around the arena to track not just where the ball is, but where it was going to be. The fastest tennis serve in history is over 146 miles an hour. That may be too fast for the human eye, but not for Hawkeye. This technology is getting used in more and more sports to track stats, player abilities, and to help with corrections to athletes' games. It's even being used in the English Premier League to prevent injuries. This has been Adam Fernandez for Full Sail Live, and this week we have baseball opening day, so stay tuned for that. We will see you next time.